I want to tell you about something I'm seeing at almost every firm I work with. Last month, someone on my team came to me excited. They'd built a practice management dashboard with Claude that was genuinely brilliant. It would transform how we track client deadlines. I looked at it and I saw the problem immediately. The data that would make this thing work lives in three different systems that don't talk to each other the way the dashboard needs it. No pipeline, no architecture. A beautiful output, but with no viable input. She was disappointed. I was frustrated. And here's the thing. The AI training she finished last year didn't prepare her for any of this. The gap is what I'm seeing everywhere. Your team isn't failing because AI doesn't work. They're hitting four walls. And nothing in their training teaches them to get past them. The first wall is the better Google. This is when staff treat AI as a smarter search engine, instead of bringing specific context. Here are the three transactions that won't match. Here's what I've already ruled out, and here's the client history on this account. But they ask a generic question like, how do I fix a bank rec problem in Xero? That's not AI adoption. That's a search upgrade with, hopefully, a better answer. The second wall is what I call the platform wall. That's sort of what we encountered with this exercise. Staff try to use AI on problems that live inside Xero or QBO. Categorize these transactions, reconcile this account, fix this error. AI can't reach into those platforms from the outside in the way we want them to. So they conclude that AI doesn't work. Their approach is wrong. And they don't know enough about what's possible to find the path around it. Now, the third wall is the output fantasy. Staff see AI produce something impressive. A dashboard, a report template, a client deliverable. And they want to deploy it tomorrow. They haven't thought about where the data lives, what it takes to make a tool like this work firm-wide rather than just on their screen. The vision outruns the infrastructure by months. And the fourth wall is the deployment gap. Someone builds a workflow that works beautifully for one client on one machine. But then you try and scale it. Different clients, different structures, someone else's computer, edge cases multiplying. What works as a personal experiment fails as a firm-wide engineering exercise. Every single one of these walls is the same gap between vision and architecture. Your staff member can see what they want AI to do, but they can't decompose the problem into buildable steps. They can't identify where data lives or how to move it. And they can't anticipate what might break at scale. That's a skills problem. And the skills that solve it aren't the ones most training programs teach. They just teach how to write a better prompt. Here's where every accountant understands this intuitively. You've hired someone with a Xero Advisor certification. They look great on paper, but they couldn't produce a clean set of financial statements. The certificate proved they had completed a module. It didn't prove they can handle a messy chart of accounts, unreconciled bank feeds, a business owner who mingles personal and business expenses. The certificate tells you they attended. The work product tells you they can deliver. AI training has the same problem. The skills your practice actually needs don't come from the video course. Understanding where AI can and can't reach in your tech stack, designing input pipelines and building workflows that handle edge cases and being able to deploy them at scale, these come from actually building. Now, I told you earlier this week about a skill for something unrelated to accounting that I built, searching for airline flights, and how I learned more about encoding professional knowledge in 2 hours than in months of theory. I told you about an Excel diagnostic that got rebuilt as a polished interactive scoring tool in 30 seconds because someone knew what better looked like. And a purpose-built agent that now produces caseware format trial balances from raw data, replaces a paid subscription. These are what we call artifacts, an encoded skill or a rebuilt deliverable, a shortcut that eliminates a tool. Each one is proof someone can think through inputs, architecture, edge cases, and deployment. Now here's where the landscape sharpens the argument. This week, 2 companies independently proved something important. One builds coding tools, one builds customer service models. Both found that training AI on real domain interaction data outperforms the most expensive general purpose models. The coding tools ship improvements every 5 hours from actual user sessions. The customer service model resolves 2 million issues a week with 65% fewer errors. And accounting is next. Over $1 billion in combined funding is building vertical AI for this space. When these models arrive, the practices that benefit will be the ones generating structured interaction data, the workflows, the correction logs, the encoded decision rules, the artifacts. If your team has been building, their work feeds the next generation of tools. If they've been collecting certificates, their work is invisible to the pipeline. And the capability ceiling just keeps rising. Anthropic confirmed this week that the next model represents a step change in reasoning. The four walls don't get lower as models get smarter. They get higher because more capable output still requires someone who can evaluate it, architect around it, and deploy it. So the question for you isn't whether your team is learning AI. Most firms claim to use it. The question is whether they're producing artifacts or merely collecting certificates. Whether they're developing the skills that break through the four walls or developing comfort with tools they'll never fully use. Which one are you investing in? Now, I've got some additional content for newsletter subscribers on our blog page covering a team diagnostic that helps you see exactly which one of these walls is holding your team back. The link is in the description. This assessment runs as a conversation with your team because it turns out the full picture is clearer when everyone's in the room together. The partner sees what training was invested in, the manager sees what scaled and what didn't, and the bookkeeper knows which wall the team is hitting. Put them together, and the conversation itself surfaces more than the scores do. Now, that diagnostic is free for our newsletter subscribers. Visit the AIaccountant.ai and check the blog for the article on the AI skills gap and everything you'll find there. The link's in the description. We'll see you tomorrow.